Do we love Charlotte Tilbury? Is it a yes or is it a no? Or just meh? Today we're gonna go through most of her products, which is either in the holy grail category, in the nope category, or in the meh category. I'm gonna let you know my thoughts in each one, and in the end we're gonna decide which products goes where. I'm gonna transform myself from this to this. The first thing we're gonna put on is the Hollywood Flawless Filter. This is in the shade 4.5. This is intended for a glow. You can put it underneath your foundation or the highlights of your face, but I'm gonna use this for underneath the foundation. This is a little too peachy for me. My actual color is 4, which has a golden undertone, but of course it's been sold out for I don't know how long, so this is the next best thing, and it's a mini, so it's cheaper. I'm just gonna put this literally just everywhere. I mean, you can see here, you can see the peachiness. And then I'm just gonna use my hand to spread it along. This is the Beautiful Skin Foundation, and I have it in the shade 6, and it is described as a medium neutral. This is definitely not neutral tone, this is warm toned. So what I like to do is use my hands to warm up the product. So I just do this. I'm just going to use my Merit brush right here to stamp it in. Now I'm going to apply a second layer just to show you how much you can build it up. I think it definitely covers the redness really well, and it definitely evened out my skin tone. Okay, let's finish up the other side. So I still have about half a pump here. I don't think I'm gonna put on any more because I'm gonna go in with the concealer anyways, which leads us to the Radiant Concealer. This is in the shade 7.5, which is described as a medium neutral to yellow undertone. I actually have a full size that is in the shade 5. It is definitely too light for me. With any of her base makeup, I try not to cake it on so much because I know how much it spreads throughout the skin. In a lot of videos, I see that a lot of people don't like this and saying it's cakey and dry looking. And I do agree with that if you put on way too much to begin with. So start small, you might not need a lot. And I noticed that I've been doing this a lot with my concealer. It kind of gives like a lifted, and plus I have like darkness going on around my lips. I guess it's what happens when you get older. I've been really liking doing this. Definitely brightens that area up. I also have our older concealers, the Magic Away one. These are also very, very good. I just feel like it's the same thing as this, but the packaging is just so bad. It is so hard to open. So I prefer this one so much more. Next is the Beautiful Skin Bronzer. This is their newest bronzer. It's a cream base and I got it in the shade medium. It's definitely a bronzer, not a bronzer or a contour shade at all. This definitely warms up your skin very nicely. I don't think it's too warm on my skin tone. I believe it's just the perfect warmthness. Okay, here's where the thoughts come in. When I first used it, I didn't really like it, mostly because it felt kind of dry. I don't know if that's like intended to be like that. And since it's a huge compact, I don't know, I just see it as drying out a lot more over time. Next is the Pinkgasm Beauty Light Wand, and I have this in the shade Pinkgasm. This has a twisty where you can twist it to on and off so that it's not gushing out in your makeup bag, and when you open it, it's like spills all over the place. I really love that about this. I think I still have some in my little felt tip here, and I'm gonna apply 1, 2. And then I'll be using the same brush right here. This is so pretty. I usually don't go for pink blushes, but I just love this one. I guess this is one of her viral ones, and I didn't even know about that either. Like, I'm so out of the loop. But I've always loved this shade, and and then it got sold out for the longest time. My next favorite Charlotte Tilbury product is the highlighter. This is in the shade Spotlight. It is my favorite shade. It definitely brightens up. Oh my gosh, girl. Look at that. Next is the Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. This is in the shade Medium. This powder is so good. It definitely airbrushes, and it definitely makes your skin still glowy even though you're setting it. Next, we're moving on to the eyeshadows. Here I have the Pillow Talk Dreams, and I have the Pillow Talk palette of Pops. This palette is a lot better than the original Pillow Talk from my skin tone, but I think it's not the perfect one. I'm gonna dip into the prime shade, which is the first lightest shade, and I like to apply this all over. This is how Charlotte applies it, and this is what they recommend you to apply it all over brow bone. And it gives like a nice sheen, but I personally don't really like the undertone in this one. I don't think it's light enough where it makes a difference. So you can see here that it's definitely too dark. It's giving me a dark cast, so maybe I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, let's not do that. We're gonna start with the enhanced shade. This shade, you guys, it definitely reminds me of my favorite shade in the Darling palette. It's like a nice warmth, but not too warm. It has a pink undertone in it as well, so it definitely complements my skin tone. Look at how much it blends. It blends so easily, and it's definitely pigmented. I'm gonna go to the smoke shade, which is the darkest one, right here. And I'm gonna concentrate that on the outer V right here. I'm gonna use the same shade but with a pencil brush this time, and deepen up my lower lash line. I'm gonna go back to the enhanced shade and diffuse that even more. Now I'm gonna dip into the prime shade, which is the lightest shade in the palette. I'm gonna apply this all over my lid, and I'm using my Shikuhodo GSN 9. Using this shade this way looks so much better than what I was doing earlier. And as you can see here, the pigmentation is so good. It is so shimmery. It's kind of in a way like moist, gel-like. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's just so shimmery. There's no fallout, as you can see. It applies so good. I don't know if I want to use this shade. I don't know if I really like that, but just so you guys can see it, I guess I'm just gonna apply it right here. It's just a darker version of that, just a little bit. It has a little bit of mauve undertone in it. I'm gonna go back to the darkest shade and just kind of fill in this area right here to give me a little bit more depth. And I'm bringing it slightly up here just to give a little bit more crease. Of course, blending it out. Now I'm gonna move on to the palette of pops. This is the Pillow Talk. These are like a topper where it's like super shiny without adding too much pigment. So I'm gonna use this one right here. And what I do is just put my finger on there. And I'm gonna apply that just here. So as you can see, it definitely gives a lot of shine. Oh, I love this so much. I might have put way too much over here. Guess it's not as, I guess it's more pigmented than I thought it was. More shimmery than I thought. But yeah, I love how this looks like. All right, since there is no highlighting shade that I like in those two palettes, I'm gonna move on into the highlighter. This is the Glow highlighter, her newest one, the Multiglow, and I have it in the Romance Light palette. Look how shiny that is. Ooh. Seriously, this, I'm so glad that Charlotte Tilbury created this because it has 4 different shades. And usually I would mix 2 at a time. For example, this white one right here, it's definitely the brightest of all, the shimmeriest of all. So I would mix these 2 together and create this. And then with whatever left over, I kind of bring it in to the eyes just to have an awesome gradient looking top of eyeshadow. I'm gonna change my brush here to a looser pencil brush and apply it at the top right here where the arch is. Sadly, I don't have our eyeliner, so I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty, which I will go off camera for. This is the Pillow Talk Push Up Lashes. I will tell you right now, I love this. I really love this mascara because it has 2 sides of the wand. It has like a flat side and then a wider side, and it definitely separates the lashes so well. I really love this for the lower lashes as well because it's a drier formula, so it will last throughout the day and you will not have raccoon eyes at the end of the day. We are going to put some falsies. I have quite a few favorites from her Lip Cheat lip liner. I love the original Pillow Talk. I love this one. This is the Pillow Talk Medium, and also the Hot Gossip. Those are my top 3. But since we are on our mauve eye thing, I'm gonna go with Pillow Talk Medium. And this lip liner definitely lasts so long. It lasts throughout the day and it looks so good on your lips. And usually I would apply this all over my lips and then put the lipstick on top. It's just what works well for me. For the lipstick, I'm going to use the Pillow Talk Original. I love this 2 together. This is actually my 3rd 2 because I love it so much. I mean, just look at that. Before we gather our thoughts, let's do one more thing. Pillow Talk Beautifying Face Palette. I have this in the shade Fair Medium. All right, we are done. We are finished, and here is the result. Now we are gonna talk about the items. We're gonna separate them into 3 categories. The nope category, the it's alright category, and my holy grails. Now we will start with the nope category. The first one is the bronzer here. I'm so indecisive with this that I'm just gonna put it in the nope. Because, I mean, while the color is very nice, it's just too big for me. And also it's already dried up and it's only been a couple of months and it feels kind of patchy going on the skin. And also my pan looks kind of gross. Ew, it really does. It has like pieces of my brush in there. I pretty much prefer the bronzer in the tube. That one is called the contour stick or whatever, but I just love that one because it's in the same tube as this one. It's easy to store, it's easy to use, you don't need anything. Literally you can use this and then your finger and then go. All right, moving on. So the other item in the nope list is the eyeshadow. I don't know, just something about it. It's not complete for me. It's just, I don't know, the lighter shades is so dark for my skin tone, and this is so expensive for 4 shades. This is $53 just for this. I never buy this without a discount because I just don't think it's worth it. Now let's move on to the it's okay pile. The first thing is this one, Hollywood Flawless Filter. Okay, I love what it does to you, but I just feel like you can use whatever primer you want, and it's kind of, I don't know, I just think it's kind of expensive as well. Maybe I'm just being cheap today, but I just don't think it's worth it. It doesn't last as long either because you open it all the time. And then the original bottle is very big. There's no way you could use it for 1 year and be done with it. You're gonna have to replace it. I don't think it's worth the money. But with this tiny ones, I love this size, except they don't have my shade, so I'm losing either way. And I have my favorite primer anyway, so I don't really need that. And the second thing is this one right here. This is the newest one, the Beautifying Face Palette. This is very pretty, okay? Don't get me wrong. It is so nice. The quality is so great. The highlighters are amazing. The blushes are really nice as well. Except that this is just, I could do without it. Personally, I love this a lot more given there's no blushes in here. This is just all highlighters. This one, there's something about it that I don't like. First, I don't like that it doesn't have a bronzer. I prefer the last year's release a lot better because it has at least a bronzer in there, you know? And this one has 2 blushes. I just feel like, I don't know what I feel like. I actually do recommend this because the quality is really good. I just wish that they would have just at least replaced one of the highlighters with a bronzer, then it would have been so perfect. We don't need 2 highlighters, especially if you can't really tell the difference anyway. I have a lot of yeses in my holy grail pile. Let's start with the I just showed this, but this is just so great because it has 4 shades and these are very highlighty, you know, and you can tell the difference in each shade. This is purple, this is pink, champagne, and hecka white. Let's keep it in the highlighty area right now. These are amazing. I just can't say good things about it. I love it's in a tube and there's a on and off turny thingy, and I just love that Charlotte has every undertone available for everyone to use. These 2 right here, I think these are so good. I just feel like it's not a popular opinion, but I just love these 2 together. It makes me look so I mean, just look, it's satin finish and all you have to use is very little. Let's move on to these 2. This is definitely my holy grail mascara, and not just in this line but all the brands. This is my favorite just because it's a drier formula, but it's not dry. You can easily still put it on your lashes and then have it move around a little bit until it sets, but once it sets, it sets. I just love how it makes my lower lashes look. Oh, it's just perfectly separated. Doesn't give me raccoon eyes. It's just amazing. And the next one is the Palette of Pops. I sure hope that Charlotte Tilbury is not discontinuing this formula or replacing it with a super duper shimmery eyeshadow one, because I really love this as a topper. It just finishes. You know how Hourglass has a finishing powder when you're done, it makes everything look seamlessly awesome? This is what that is for me for the eyes. It just adds a little pop without adding so much color. And these two that I have are just so good. The only one I haven't tried is the newest one, which has a blue in it. Oh, I really want to try that one. Okay, last but not least, the lipstick and liners. This is definitely a yes. I have so many of her lipsticks. I have so many of her lip liners. These are just so good. Her matte lipsticks aren't exactly matte, and it's I want to say it's satin finish. It feels so good on the lips, but the Pillow Talk shade is my most favorite. I love pairing this with the original, the medium one that I have right now, and Hot Gossip with this shade, and it always looks so good. All right, now that I have talked endlessly, this is the end of the video, which brings us to, it's your turn. Let's talk. Have you tried any of the products that I have tried today? What is your #1 product ever from Charlotte Tilbury? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And if you're looking for more videos to watch on my channel, check out this video right here. This is my top 5 fall lips. I will see you there, and don't forget, have a beautiful and a wonderful